Hi everyone, I continue on the lesson topic 2, which is about significant digits and rounding. So right now we are going to talk about rounding and rounding of when we are solving a problem. When we are solving a problem, so the calculation must be continuous, means you have to have all the digits without any change in your calculator or on the paper, so you don't round them. And then rounding, you have to carry all the calculation until end, and then the rounding must be at the end for the final answer. That's it. So I don't know how to emphasize this more. So see, we have a bigger which highlighted and with bigger font, and I really want to emphasize on it because I see this mistake many times. A student, they round and round for each step, and that's wrong. You have to round at the end. So if you finish all the steps, you carry all the digits. So with your calculator, in your calculator, don't round step by step, and you are just rounding at the end. Okay, how do we round? So how do we talk about rounding? Okay, so I think we did this before. We talked about rounding before, rounding rules. So if I have, for example, if I want to round, for example, I want to round this number to three significant digit. Okay, so I underline the third significant digit and I check the next one, and I don't want to see the next one because I want to round to three significant digit. If the next one is 0, 1, 2, or 3 or 4, these five digits, I do not change it. I do not change that digit. So I would say 4.12. Okay? But if I want to round to three significant digits, and if the next one is 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, these five digits, I go up. So I do 4, so I do round to this. Okay? 4.13. Remember, I never go down. Okay? So the first thing I want you to keep in your mind is carry all the digits in your calculator until end. Finish all the calculation. Okay? Don't round in the between. Don't round in the process. Don't round step by step. No, no, no. I don't want to see that. Even if my question has steps, and for first step, for example, for part A, I have to show the rounded answer. When I want to do part B, I do not use that rounded answer. I start from all those digits that I had previously because I don't want to have rounding and rounding and rounding. So it will be wrong. Okay, so that's what I want to emphasize. Also, I want to mention here, if the digit that you are dropping it or you are forgetting it is a placeholder, you have to add 0. Look at here. Here the digits is after decimal, so you do not need to add another 0. Okay, so but how about here? Okay, I want you to show me just three significant digits. So you underline the third one and you check the next one. Okay, the next one is 7, so you go up. Sometimes I see a student write 413 and they stop here. Remember, my number is 41,000. 41,273. I still have to hear 41,000. Okay? So, what do I say there? What do I do here? But when I look at my answer, I see, oh no, it's just 413. Oh, I made a mistake. It's not even close at all. Okay? So, when I drop the digit, here, when I drop the digit, it's after decimal, so it's not a placeholder. But here is placeholder. What do I mean by placeholder? This is 1. This is the next one is 10. The next one is 100. The next one is 1,000. So there is a 10,000. Okay. So 41,000. I have to hear still 41,000. Oh, okay. So I add this and I add this. Okay. So I drop those digits. I have to add 0 because I still have to hear 41,000. Okay, I said 41,273. Now it's 41,000. Still I have to hear this. So if they are placeholder, I add 0. I have to fill them with 0. Okay, so there are some other rules of rounding. There are some other rules of rounding. so maybe somewhere else they are used. Maybe even some of them are familiar for you because maybe in your country you use them. Okay, I want to say we don't use these rules here. See, we do not use these rules here. So maybe I can show you what do I mean. So what do I mean here? So what is the answer here? Okay, so you can read, you can just even tell me that in my country we round this way. I know there are many other ways, but we don't use them. Okay, for example, I don't want to do them because maybe then it stick to your mind. But for example here, in some part of the world, so maybe they use this. So for example, we say when we want to round, so we go three digits after, and then we round one by one. So for example, here I want to round to three significant digits. For example, you say, okay, I underline that, then I go three digits here, so then I go to this digit, and then this digit will change to 6. uh, okay, so then I go to this digit. Okay, and then because oops, what happened? Yeah, okay, so yeah, then this digit will be, so this one will be 6, and then because this is 6, this one will be 5, and because this is 5, this one will be 5, and because this is 5, this one will be 6. Yes, and then it is 3.76. Okay, with this rule that I'm saying. Okay, see, go back to third number to be dropped, and continue to round until the first dropped. Okay, so I want to just round to three significant digit. Okay, so I go to the third one after, and then I say, okay, so because this is 5, I change this one to 5. Because this is 5, I change this one to 5. And because this is 5, I change this one to 6. And then I say the rounded answer is 3.76. I want to mention we do not use these rules here. No. What we do here is we underline this 3.754458. We underline this because third significant digit. We check the one after because the one after is 4, so we round to 3.75. Done. This is what we do here. So as I mentioned, there are other rules, alternative rules for rounding. I know maybe some chemistry labs they do this. Maybe in some part of the other countries they do this, but we don't do it. So, but we just follow what we learn in our class. Okay. As you continue to work in science, to work more in this program, and you continue for your job, and so you will see maybe your instructor, maybe your supervisor, maybe in the company that you are going to work, they have different rules for rounding. Okay, so as you continue, you will see different rules even for counting significant digits. Okay, so you have to follow them, okay, in future. But if everybody do the same thing, that's acceptable. Okay, so you say, for example, in the company that I'm working, everybody round this way, so that's acceptable. Okay, because everybody is doing the same thing. Okay, so in future your lab teacher, maybe your instructor for another course, they say, no, 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 you have to round this way, so you have to follow them. Okay, and for example, you may say, in my country we do this, for example, or you have some other ways. For example, if you see even number, if you see odd numbers. Okay, I know there are many other ways of rounding that people are using, so in other countries, maybe in other companies, in maybe other courses, I know, but we don't use, we just follow our own way. And in future, if you have to change it, if everybody is doing, for example, in the same class or the same company, that's acceptable, you have to follow that. Okay, so just you have to ask maybe what is the way of rounding. Okay, so here we want to do this. Okay, round to three significant digits. So you underline the third one and check the next one. What is the answer? Okay, you underline one, check the next one, so you don't change it. It's 5.71. Then you underline Okay, you underline this one and check the next one. So 5.7. I don't need to change it. I don't need to go up. So I either not change it or I just go up. We never go down. Okay, doesn't make any sense. Okay, so minus. Okay, so here, three significant digits. So I underline that and I check the next one. So it's minus 53.8. How about this? Minus, oops, minus 53.75. I underline this and check this, and this is minus 54. Okay, yeah. So how about here? So maybe for this one I use red just to emphasize that I'm doing for the other one. Okay, so that's 5.7. Yeah. Okay, how about here? So you underline this and check this. So it is 6.95. You don't change it. Okay, so 6.954. You want 2, so you underline that, check that. It is almost 7.0. Why 7.0? Why 7.0? Because I say two significant digits, so I don't say just 7. No. Okay, and I have to I underline 9, and I don't want to see after not but that digit. I don't want to see after the first digit after decimal. I don't want to see second digit after decimal, but the first one I want to have it. Okay, so how about this? 28500.4. I underline second. Sorry, I underline third. No, I changed the color. Maybe okay here. Yeah, I underline here, I check here, so it is 28500. Don't forget, you need these zeros. Okay, although I underline 5 and I don't want to see, I say I don't want to see anything after, but because it's placeholder, I have to have those zeros. Because I say 28,000, I still have to say 28,000. Okay, so which one? 28500.4. Okay, so I said second. Okay, so I underline that, check that. It is almost 29000. Okay, so these digits important because they are placeholder. I have to have them. Okay, so how about here? So this one I underline, and the next one, so I just check it. So I have 32600. Okay, and again these are placeholder because I say 32,000. Still I have to say 32,000. 32568. Okay, so 2, the second one I underline, the next one I check, and it is 33000. Okay, these are important because they are placeholder. I have to add them. Okay, so how about here? I underline this, I check this, it is minus 501. Done. How about here? It's minus 501.4, and I want two significant digits. So I underline this and I check this. Okay, so it is minus 500, but this is just one significant digit. Okay, so I have to either do this, okay, or let me see. Yes, I can do that, or I can do minus 5.0 multiple 10 power 2, which is minus 500. Okay, and in this case I see two significant digits here. Okay, this is what I can do. That's a very good question. Okay, so here I underline this and I check this 7460. Okay, again these zeros are placeholder. I have to have them. How about here? 7455. I underline that, check that. It is, so I change the color maybe just to be just the same as all of them. So 7575 because that's 5, yeah, 7500. Okay, and these are this. Okay, so let me see if I have everything included that I need. Okay, yes, here, so that's all the colors and everything is okay. Perfect, yeah. Okay, now how to round when we are adding and subtracting? How to round, and what do you think about that? See, for example, here I want to show you why. 43.1 plus 52. Okay, you want to add it. Okay, again, in rounded and approximate question, sorry, in approximate numbers, when I have approximate, do you remember I said when I use analytical balance or top one balance, so those scales, so one of them shows me, for example, 2 digits after decimal, one of them shows me 4 digits after decimal. If the one of them is the one that is showing me 2 digits, it doesn't mean after the second digit after decimal, for the third digit, it doesn't mean it's zero. No, it's rounding it. It doesn't show me. Okay, but I had another digit after. Okay, so here as well, here mathematically I don't see, but it doesn't mean there is not. Okay, see here, I don't see, I know it's zero mathematically and with my calculator and in my brain. When I don't see, I consider zero, but I don't know it. So I put 1 here, I put 5 here, I put 9 here. Oops, I know, but I cannot be sure about this part. Okay, so we round to the fewest decimal place. So I round to the least decimal place because I am sure about that. Okay, here I have 0 decimal place, here I have 1 decimal place. Okay, I know I have 1 decimal place, but for the second one, for 1 decimal place, I'm not sure about that. So for both of them, I am sure about 0 decimal place. For both of them, I am sure about 0 decimal place. But just for one of them, 1 decimal place. So I round to 0 decimal place. And if there is whole number and there is no decimal, so then I have to so look at the last digit of each number. Okay, and you have to round it to highest place value. I have to check that place value. I will show you what do I mean here. Okay, so here, yeah. Okay, so here, look at this. If I give you questions like that and I say add the following approximate numbers, when I say add the following approximate numbers, means you have to round appropriately. Round appropriately means you round for addition and subtraction using their own rules. You round for multiplication and division using their own rules, which I'm going to tell you shortly. This means rounding appropriately. Okay? Means you accept this number is approximate, this number is approximate as well, and then you are rounding just appropriately related to addition. Addition and subtraction, they have the same rule. Okay, just I have to check something here. Yeah, okay, so look at this. How many significant digits I have? Oops, sorry, how many decimal place? 1 decimal place. Okay, so adding and subtracting, I round to the least decimal place. And when I say round appropriately, means you have to look at the question and see if the numbers are approximate. Then just regarding to just you have to just look at the question. For addition and subtraction, you do differently. For multiplication and division, you do differently. For addition subtraction, you care for decimal place. Okay, so you have 1 decimal place, you have 0 decimal place. For both of them, you are sure about 0 decimal place. For one of them, you are just sure for 1 decimal place. So you have to go to the least one, because I'm not sure about that part. See, I am not sure about this. I am not sure about that part. Okay. Oops. What happened? Okay. Oops. Yeah. I hope it's working. Okay. Yeah. So I'm not sure about that after decimal, because I'm not sure for one of them, so I cannot be sure for the answer. Okay. So my numbers are approximate. I want to round appropriately, so I have to do this. My answer should have 4 parts. This is part 1. Part 2 is the answer. What is the answer? The answer is 95.1. Part 3 is you underline that and you check the next one, because you have to round to 0 decimal place. So you underline the last digit and then check the first decimal place. Then you round to 95, because that's 1. Okay? I have to see this part. I have to see this part, I have to see this part, and I have to see the rounded answer. But many times I see a student, they just show me 95. So I give them just 1/4 of the mark. If you are my student, you have to show me your steps. Okay, 1 decimal place. 1 decimal place, I round to 1 decimal place. Okay? Right? Okay, so what is the answer then? The answer is 95.4. I underline that, I check that, so it is 95.4. Done. Because I already see 1 decimal place. Okay? How about this? Okay. What did I say? I said for whole numbers, look at the last digit of each number and round to the highest place value. Okay, so means when you see, if you see zeros, do you remember I said zeros are ambiguous? Means zeros are not clear. So I'm not really sure. Maybe I had, for example, 5, 4, for example, 1, 1, and for some reason it's rounded to 5, 4, 0, 0, and so I'm not sure. So for when I see those zeros, I have to consider that I have to round to this place value. Okay, good. So here, so how do I show? How do I do this? Okay, so here 0 decimal place. Here -2. Okay, right? 0 and -2. So why -2? Because I see those zeros, 2 zeros. So I say 2 zeros, so I do -2. Okay, so then I would say, okay, what is the smallest one? -2. Okay, now I add them. It is, where is it? Can I see my calculator somewhere? Oh my God. Um, can I see? This is a strange. I cannot find my calculator here. Okay, so maybe I'm not sure. Okay, that's strange. So I can use this. Okay, so yeah, so I can say the answer is yeah, 9772, and then because it said 2, so means you underline that and check that it is 9800. Look at those 2 zeros. So those 2 zeros tells you you need to go to, look at the last digit of the number, round to the highest place value. Okay, so the highest place value here. So this is the highest place value. The highest place value is not 1, not 10, is 100. Okay? And here you have 1. Okay? So you round to the 100 place value then. Right? So I show it with 0 and -2 because then I choose -2. How about here? The next one. Okay, the next one, oops. The next one, I do 0 because I don't see any 0, so it's just 0. And how many 0 here? I see 1, so I round to -1. So I find the answer, 9782, 9782. Okay, I underline that, I check that, it is almost 9780. Okay, why? Because the highest place value is just here. So I have 1 here, I have 1 here, I have 10 here. So the highest one is 10. So I round to that. So in order to just show this here as a rule, so I use with minus, I use with negative. So I use negative and the other one 0 because I don't see any 0. So I use -1 and then I show that. Okay, so look at this. Here you have 2, 2, 1, 1. Okay, so the next one, 4372 and okay, so 0 and -1. Okay, so your answer is 99762. You do -1, so you underline this, check this, it is almost 9760. I want to see this, I want to see this, I want to see this, I want to see this. Okay, and also I want to see the unit. What was the unit? Centimeter, because it's centimeter plus centimeter. Okay, yes, yeah. So good. Yes. Okay, so just okay, so sorry about that, so I'm not sure. Okay, yeah, it just practice. Just practice our left, and then we talk about multiplication rule. Okay, so I just do the practice and then we go to multiplication, and then I stop and then we go to multiplication. Okay, so here practice, I have to tell you round appropriately, and I have to tell you these numbers are approximate numbers, otherwise you don't do it. Remember, if I don't say round appropriately, these are approximate numbers, or if you don't see a word problem which tells you that numbers are approximate, and when we have word problem and for example we measure something, yes, of course it's approximate. Okay, so if we know those, so we round appropriate, otherwise we don't. Okay, so 4 decimal place, 2 decimal place, 3 decimal place, 3 decimal place. So which one is the least one? 2 decimal place. What is the answer? Gram, 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 gram. So it's okay. I can find the answer. Just add them. Okay, 10.2352 gram. I need 2 decimal place. So I underline that, check that. It is almost 10.23. Oh, sorry, 24 gram. Okay. I want to see this. 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 4 parts. How about here? Okay, so this is wrong here. We have to change it. Sorry, both of them should have the same unit. Okay, so otherwise we have to convert units and then it will be wrong. So and not wrong, so it will be a new lesson that I didn't teach you. Sorry, I don't mean it's wrong. I mean we have to do it in future. So this was a mistake. So here, that's a typo. Okay, so 1 decimal place, two decimal place, I round to one decimal place. Remember, addition, subtraction, you round to the least decimal place. Or you care for those zeros that I did in the question. Now find the answer. 23.53. I underline that, I check that. It is almost 23.5 milliliter. I have to add the unit. Okay? Addition, subtraction to the least decimal place. Sorry, decimal place. How about here? Decimal place. How about this? Okay, minus 1 because of the 0. 2 because of decimal place. Okay? So I round to minus 1. Okay? Remember, if you see zeros, you have to just forget all the zeros and go to the last digit, before those zeros. Okay, so here I see 1 0, so means minus 1. 1 0 minus 1. Two decimal place, so it's 2. The least one is minus 1. So the answer is 5362.12 centimeter. So minus 1. So I underline that, check that. It is almost 5360 centimeter. And look at this. That 0, in answer, you should have the same number of zeros. Okay? Yeah. If you have several zeros, for example, 1 0 and one of them 2 zeros and one of them 3 zeros, so you do minus 1, minus 2. See if you have something with, for example, some digits with 1 0 and some digit with 2 0 and some digit with 3 zeros. So you do minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, and then you choose this one, and then you round to the, just to 10. So 1, 10, 100 to the 1,000. I think I have to say, and I have to see 3 zeros in the answer. Okay, so when you see those zeros in the question, don't forget the negative value because of the zeros, and then the least one will be negative. Okay, so I stop here as just video 2, and I continue after.